Well, hello, and welcome to March Movie Analysis. I'm Gladys Torkelson, here to give you the latest and greatest from the Sweet 16. What a round that was. Just a note to our viewers here, you may notice that I'm shooting in a different location today. We're having some lighting issues here at Studio 81. Apparently we are all out of light bulbs and have been shuffling bulbs around the studio as we use different parts of the studio. Robbing Peter to pay Paul, if you will. Hopefully, bulbs are in stock at our local Winco and we'll be shooting at our regular location next week. Let's get straight to the updates from the Sweet 16. Although some lower seeds had great runs in the tourney, like the number 5's $1 Million Baby and Happy Gilmore, and the number 4's Bend It Like Beckham and Chariots of Fire, this round really slammed the lids on the hopes and dreams of these Cinderellas. Only 1's and 2's advanced out of this round. Although some might see this as the boring old blue bloods winning again, one should also see this as the sheer wisdom of the selection committee. A committee that once again is truly able to recognize that dynamic and hard-to-predict mix between true talent and fan favorites. Wow, hats off to Commissioner Roth and her selection committee. The Sandlot was by far the biggest winner of this round, winning their match over $1 Million Baby with the largest vote margin. Here are some graphics to show you. The Sandlot, winning by their biggest vote margin with 30 points. Both Cool Runnings, both A League of Their Own and Cool Runnings showed their continued hot streak as they showed their competitors the door. Let's look at the stats from both of these games. They each won by 24 votes, Hoosiers did indeed struggle with Bend It Like Beckham, but Jimmy Chipwood and his team once again managed to emerge with the W. They got 23 votes, 68%. Remember, the Titans, so dominant in last round's matchup, struggled with the classic Chariots of Fire. Once again, they were the eventual victors, though. The last three matchups, Rocky versus Rudy, the Mighty Ducks versus Happy Gilmore, and Space Jam versus Miracle were all locked in fierce battles that came down to the last final few votes. Let's take a look. Here's the breakdown from Rocky. You can see Rocky only wins with about 59% of the vote, 20 votes, versus Rudy's 41% of the vote, 14 votes. Real tight matchup indeed. And here we have the Mighty Ducks versus Happy Gilmore, way tighter than folks might have predicted. Mighty Ducks just barely edging out Happy Gilmore by 14 votes. And lastly here is Space Jam versus Miracle. As we've talked about in this tournament, Space Jam has continued to struggle on their matchups on the court, and this was no different. They winning, again, just by about 4 votes. And now it's on to the Elite Eight, and what an elite group of films they are. Although some teams have a 1 by their name and others have a 2, I really expect that all of these matchups will be nail-biters. I know that some fans will be interested to look at the types of sports that have made it to the Elite Eight. Let's look at a breakdown. Most of the sports, let's see. So these are the sports in the Elite Eight. Baseball, there's 2 movies that are baseball movies. There are 2 movies that are football movies. 2 movies that are basketball movies. Only 1 movie with a bobsled movie. And 1 movie is a hockey movie. No real surprises there, but interesting breakdown from our graphics department. Let's go now to our other competition, the bracket pool. This round once again sees Nate Choder, who even is that guy, on top with a commanding lead, a full 23 points ahead of the current number 2, Darren. R. Funk, Max, and McKenna are all nipping at Darren's heels, so he shouldn't get too comfortable in position number 2. In the data analysis breakdown brilliantly provided by the one and only sports data geek Lane Wise, we can see that Joseph actually made up a lot of ground in this latest round, collecting a total of 50 points. The middle of the table still has quite a few possible contenders, including the commissioner herself, sitting at 99 points. Marcos, at the far other end of the bracket, has gained a few points and is no longer in last place. That honor goes to Kyle Boyd. Good work, Marcos. And lastly, let's review some of our readers' comments. I'd love to see an in-depth interview with Claude Hovenstack. How does someone make a 30-year career from flipping coins? I'm fascinated. Aren't we all fascinated out there, dear fan? Although we have tried and tried to get an in-depth interview with Claude, he's shockingly shy, doesn't really like spending too much time on the camera. So we take our little Claude snippets where we can. I surprised even myself with some of the votes. Okay, cool. Do you have tricks for making the perfect waffle? This one was signed Bert Picklemeister. Well, Bert, I indeed do. If you have the More with Less cookbook, I prefer the high-protein waffles. Shout out to my mom, Karen Weens, for always making those. And lastly, I did this to escape the horrors of the world, and you gave me a Sophie's Choice like Rocky versus Rudy. This is a cruel game, commish. Bloodsport. Well, geez, it was not intended to be so, and I'm sorry that you feel that way, dear reader. Hopefully you find some more palatable matchups in our next round of the Elite Eight. Please remember to vote in the Elite Eight round by Monday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And we will see you next week for all updates from the next round of what is sure to be fierce competition. Please also be sure to check out today's breaking news segment for some truly priceless Claude Hovenstack. That's it for myself, Claude, Dr. Kermit Shemke, and the rest of us at Studio 81. We'll see you next time.